Today, Phone Scoop is taking a quick look at the new Samsung Instinct HD, HD for high definition. The Instinct HD's claim to fame, of course, is that it has a whopping 5-megapixel camera and it can shoot HD quality video. Let's take a quick spin around the hardware. What you see is pretty much what you get. It's a typical slab-style touch phone from Samsung, not too different from the original Instinct or the Instinct M30, which was released earlier this year. On the front, you can see we have the 3 buttons here, the phone key, home key, and back key, and those are the same as on the original Instinct. And on the side, we've got a volume toggle here, which works well, has good travel and feedback. We've got a application key here, nothing along the bottom. On the right, we've got a dedicated camera key here. We've got a hatch covering the micro SD slot here, and a hatch covering the micro USB port here. On the back, you can see the camera. We'll give a close look at that. You can see it has a flash and a vanity mirror, and you can see it says 5 megapixels right there. And on the top, we have the power key and locking key, accompanied by a full 3.5mm headset jack for listening to media straight on the device. So that's the hardware. It's it's pretty good. It's got a nice feel to it. Feels comfortable in the hand. Is nice and solidly put together, and the build quality is what we expect from Samsung these days. So now that we've taken a look at the hardware, let's take a quick look at the software. The user interface of the Samsung HD is pretty much the same as on the previous 2 Samsungs. What we'll do is we'll press the unlock key. You'll see a screen here, slide to unlock, and the first thing it does is take you to your favorite screen. This screen can be populated by whatever the user wants. You can pretty much add anything you want. Press the little star and it asks you to basically add anything. So, you want to add a bookmark. We'll put in a bookmark, and now we always have instant access to Yahoo on the home page. Hitting the main button, this is really the main menu here. This is where you're going to access most of the phone systems. You can see email messaging, instant messaging, navigation, calendar, clock, calculator, notes, and settings. And on the Fun menu, this is where you've got more of your media playback stuff, so you'll see music, TV, video, the camera, Facebook and Twitter integration, which is nice. Nice to see that Samsung put some of those social networking applications on here. And of course, we've got YouTube and My Stuff. This is more or less the portal that users are going to use to access and download new content. Anything you download from Sprint is going to be placed in this this portion of the menu system. And of course, we've also got the web. I've got a few preloaded shortcuts here to CNN and ESPN, the weather.com, and of course the live browser, Fandango, Bloomberg, and so on, so you can check your stocks and movie times and such. The browser is Opera Mobile 9.7, which is really nice to have on this phone. I have to say, it's a pretty solid browser. But of course, that's all pretty similar to previous Instincts that have been released. Let's go back to probably what you're most interested in taking a peek at, and that would be the camera and video camera. Going to the camera, of course, it does want to be held sideways. So we've got the basic screen here, and all the controls come up when you pop here. You can see that we can adjust pretty much anything. We've got full settings here to adjust how the camera behaves. 5 megapixels, and you can dial that down to VGA if you really want to. We'll stick with 5. You can add colors. You can adjust the ISO or the speed of the light sensitivity, and that's how that all works. And you can go access scene modes. You can do portrait, landscape, sunsets, adding text, night sports, backlight, and these just kind of help you take more appropriate exposures based on the particular situation you're shooting in. And this key here sets the shooting mode, so we can choose from single shot, series shot, divided shot, and smile shot, which will look out for a smile from anybody that happens to be in in the picture. And just to round things up, we can choose focusing mode. We can have autofocus on or off. We can choose it to put on macro, which will help you take close-up pictures better. And we also have face detection, and we'll stick with autofocus there. And we also, of course, have the exposure value meter, so we can bump this up or down to brighten an image or darken an image, depending on how we feel about it. And that's the basics. That's the camera. That's how it works. If we'll throw something out there and just have it take a quick picture. So, you know, it behaves reasonably fast. We'll focus real quick. So you can see how quickly it does that. We'll press halfway to focus. Focuses, takes the picture. So that's the camera. And, you know, the pictures, they look pretty good. You know, it's 5 megapixels. I'm not going to say they're super phenomenal, fantastic, but they're going to beat the pants off of most any other camera phone that's running, you know, 2 or 3 megapixels. Now let's check out video, because that's pretty interesting. Hitting this key here, we jump to the camcorder, and you'll notice the first thing it asks is for you to set the quality. You can shoot HD, full HD, which is 1280 by 720p, and it tells you how much memory it's going to use. So 1 minute of video is shot in HD resolution is going to take 30 megabytes. So this can kind of help you gauge how much memory you're going to use up depending on how much footage you shoot. You can also dial down to VGA or QVGA. So we'll just hit HD, and you can see it says HD mode there at the top. And you know, we have some settings here. If you go in and you accidentally chose the HD setting and you wanted to change that, you can go back here and quickly dial it back down if you want to. And you can see it's the same type of menu we had on the camera. You can basically make a lot of the same different adjustments. We'll hit OK there, and you can see we also have brightness sensitivity here, exposure value, and we can turn on the video light if we want to, and that's controlled by that right there. So we'll just leave that on, and that's video mode. So we will we'll shoot some video, which is counting down, because I guess I turned on the timer, and it's going to start recording video here in just a few seconds, and boom, we're recording video. So that's a live feed right there, and you can see we've put my guitar polishing cloth in there, and let's see how detailed we can read that. You know, I think it's pretty easy to tell that that says Fender, and that's pretty much how the video camera works. We can hit stop here, and that'll save it, and you're done. So it tells you how much you've got left, 1 hour and 3 minutes, based on you know, what sort of memory card you've got in there. So hitting home takes us back out to the home screen. So that is a quick look at the Samsung Instinct HD, a new touch phone for the Sprint network, and offers the same user interface and most of the same features as found on the Instinct and Instinct M30, but this one, of course, dials things up to a you know, very high quality 5 megapixel camera and HD video camcorder. So there it is, the Instinct HD from Samsung.